I marathoned all of the Mission Impossibles, and like with all the movies I watch, I was going to do a quick review on each of them. However, I can't because the last three films, which are Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol, and Fallout, not in that order, they're all the same film. They're exactly the same. They're the exact same quality. Um, you know, they're the. I feel like if you played them, if you press play and have them all play at the same time, even like the story beats would line up. Like big action scene here, some talking here, big action scene here. They feel like the same movie, and even though I watched them back to back, they've still like melded together, and I'm not sure exactly which scenes are from which movie. So for that reason, I'm not gonna do a quick review on all of them. So instead, I'm just gonna talk about all of them. So the last three, which are the same movie, they're fun, entertaining films. They've got good camera work. They're good, and I mean the fact that it's consistent between all three, and they feel like the same movie, and they're all of the exact same quality. I think that's actually quite remarkable. I would much rather have that than a fluctuation of good things and bad things. They're just solid fun films. I'll give them a 7 out of 10, all three of them. Now we get into the ones that vary a lot more. The first three. I'll just talk about the third one first, because the third one is closer to the last three. I feel like there's a stepping stone to those, and that's the first step, was number three. It's not all these big massive visual spectacles like the other ones. I suppose they're like trying to have more of a story. That's what it felt to me, by like adding the whole wife story arc, as well as the evil man trying to get a weapon, which is the same story as the rest of them. But yeah, I don't think this is as good as the other three, but it was definitely in a step to that direction. So I'll give the third one a 6. It's fine. So now I don't know why I went backwards, but I'm going to talk about 2 now, which is, holy shit, number 2. I don't understand how they were allowed. Well, I do, because Tom Cruise put most of his money towards the other ones. But 2 is awful. Oh my, it is terrible. Don't mind the cough. Shit. It's making me sick thinking about it. Yeah, 2 was just awful. I don't even... there's so many unnecessary slow-mo shots, and they're not even slow-mo, necessary slow-mo shots to, make sure that you see, I don't know, a bullet flying through a tree or anything. It's literally just 2 people looking at each other, and it's slow motion. And the entire, yes, there is bad guy wants weapon, right? But I feel like the actual story behind this is it's a love triangle. 2 people want to have sex with this woman, and the woman has sex with both of them, I think. But, that's it. That's the story. And it's just slow-mo. The action scenes aren't even fun. They just drag on, and they're boring. It's just a mess. It is a mess. I've forgotten. I'll give it a 2. It's a shame that it was filmed in Sydney because it was so bad. Anyway, so number 1 is a lot better than 2. I was really surprised with how much I was enjoying 1 and how much of it wasn't spoiled. The whole beginning, that kept throwing me for a loop. I was really surprised. Like, the action is really fun. I love the fact that it like slows down in that like, you know, the drop down ceiling, and it's like just slow tension build, and but then it also has these big action spectacles, and the story is actually super interesting. I think one is definitely like the best out of all of them, and I understand why they went in the direction they did with the later three, because you can't do number one over and over again, but one is actually like really good. The only thing that drags number one down for me is the ending action sequence. Like, the rest of the film was like so grounded in like reality, and was just like really purposeful with its action, and really like dragged me into it. And then the ending with the helicopter in the train tunnel, it just threw me out. And then I was like, well, this is ridiculous. Like, the rest that you showed me was so compelling, and there was so much like meaning behind everything. But then it just does that, and it really disappointed me. The ending really disappointed me. But I'll still give it an 8 out of 10. So, just to recap, the last three films are the same. There are 7. Third film is stepping towards that. It's basically the in-between of 1 and the last 3, and I'll give that a 6. 2 was absolutely terrible. Do not watch 2 if you marathon. I do suggest marathoning the Mission Impossible. It's quite fun. It's always really fun to be in the same world for so long. So I do suggest it, but definitely skip 2. The third one, I think, depending on time, you can choose to skip the third one or not. The only thing you really need to know is he has a wife in that one, and she comes up in one of the other 3. And number 1 was really good, except the ending, I think. But yeah,